Alright. Norlaboy Palace, Urgench, Uzbekistan. Gonna check out the house of Ibrahim from the 11th century first, right? Oh no, 19th century, right? Wait, XIX, 19th century, yes. And then the Beshkovli complex from the 19th century as well. And here we are inside. This is the man, myth legend, Sayyid Ibrahim Khoja, the Khanate, the Khan of the Khanate, I should say. Built up Khiva in the late 19th century. So this was a cabinet room. Yeah. This would have been the library. Many leather-bound books and chests. It's a cool old chest set. Try to get a closer look at it. Again, where they sit, have their chai, play music, and just talk about the day, you know? People don't really change all that much, I guess. Oh, this is my kind of guest room. Yeah, man. This is a real nice guest room. Where's the bed? Beautiful ceiling and walls. I mean, this is... One thing I'm excited about seeing in Uzbekistan is all the different colors and designs. Since Islamic art can't show, you know, things with souls, so they go a lot more in depth into designs and colors. So it'll be interesting. Finally, the bedroom. Here we go. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a bed. That is a bed. Going into now the Beshkovli complex, 19th century. So there's some gorgeous paintings of Khiva here. Yeah, lots of turquoise. I like it. Very nice crafted columns and these wooden doors. And then I just imagine the Khan or family member, you know, standing up there, greeting visitors coming in through here. Some other members of the court hanging out on these big benches, just discussing the day. Continuing from that courtyard. Right here. The 19th century summer reception hall. Well, it's winter. I wonder if we're allowed in. They're working in there, so. Okay. You gotta take off your shoes every time you go inside somewhere. But that's standard. Oh yeah. I did not see a sign, so I'm not quite sure where we are. The Khan's reception desk in the 19th century. Alright. Oh. Wow. Very beautiful. I'll say unexpected. I mean, I heard great things about the palace, but the last few rooms I went through were kind of wooden. Not what I'd shown on here, but kind of wooden, hadn't really been taken care of. So yeah, this is a happy surprise. Wow. Very ornate. Oh wow. Oh yeah. Chandelier game on point. Some 19th century German furniture. So some very good what I'm looking for here. Trade network. Wow, what a chandelier. Very beautiful fireplace. So just left that where all the really ornate reception rooms were in. Should have known from the blue tiling on the outside that the inside would have been real fancy. Some more of the courtyards of the palace here. Just take a look through. Not very busy in the winter. So if you want to, like, it's a good place when there's fewer tourists. I suggest winter. Yeah. So don't want to have them in the shot. You know, I just feel awkward doing this. This is quite nice. Hello.
Welcome.
Oh, thank you. So you may have heard some people talking to me just then. Caught me off guard. I mean, I don't exactly blend in here, not surprising. But they started asking where I was from when I flew in. And they said, oh, one of the women here, she's Turkish. And she was on the plane because I flew in from Istanbul. I was like, oh, she recognized you. And I was like, oh, okay. I was one of 2 white guys on the plane, so it's not too surprising. Okay, back to the big courtyard. Really nice. We can walk over here. Yeah. So just inside Chankala here. So there's a whole lot more over here. It's a big castle complex right in the middle of Udgenç. A bunch of people asking me for guides, but I don't speak Russian, or I know a little Russian, but not enough for a guide. So I'm not paying for a guide, because I think I'd be wasting money and not understanding what they're saying. So I'm just inside the madrassah. Here's some music. Just guys being dudes. There's a wedding party back there. I don't know if you can see in the last shot. There's a bride and groom there. So yeah, just guys being dudes. I'm all about it. I strongly support that. So just another gorgeous view. Oh, that's a nice shot there. Oh yeah. Going in now, it's the Madrasa Shagazi Khan. Let's see if it's open. So this is inside the madrasa. Just walk through. And this all along inside right here is actually a medicine museum. Because during the Islamic Golden Age, from the late 700-800s up until the Mongols came through here in the 1200s. This area was Islamic and advanced medicine. So this madrasa here trained not only, madrasas are religious education institutions, but they also trained doctors. So it was cool to see in this, here is centuries old, and there were, students of philosophy and medicine, as well as economics and logic, all studying and working here for centuries. So it's just, I don't know, it's just cool to walk where they walked. So inside the madrassah Islam Hoja. This is all just hand painted on there. I just love the different blues you see. Inside the Tashkent Palace. Just another casual palace. 18th century. Yeah, just another gorgeous, I don't know, living space. Walking into the Madrasa Muhammad Rahim Khan II. So, if you're not a fan of madrasas, I do not recommend Khiva, Uzbekistan. But I'm always down to go to ancient places of learning. Ugh, it's been a long day, and I'm hungry, so my brain's not working. But I'm always interested in checking out learned places, so. I'm breathing a little heavy because just climbed a bunch of steep stairs, and they're about that steep. But I've seen the top of this from my hotel since I got here last night. I've been trying to get here, walking on this whole compound or fortress city. So finally got it. There's a massive flag of Uzbekistan there. But yeah, in the citadel here, and it's the base of this fortress dates back to the 3rd or 4th century BC. So it's kind of crazy, over 2,300 years old. Wow, what a view. So many minarets and spires here. I was walking all around there. It's kind of tough to find your way around, I'll be honest. This map makes it look very straightforward and kind of up and down, but it's a lot more winding. The intersections don't exactly match up like that, so once I was lost, I just didn't know where it was. Big difference. So yeah, I wish it was clear. It's really hazy out. Technically day 3, but I guess second full day here in Uzbekistan, leaving Khiva after breakfast. Gonna visit some castles and then spend the night in Nukus. Last night wandering around Khiva was great afterwards, and just normally I would do this at home, but stop by convenience store to grab snacks, and I got some Lay's, Ruffles, cream and onion, as well as the local lager, kind of a pretty standard lager you get anywhere. Also, first time ever buying anything Turkmen, or Turkmeni. It was okay. I'd recommend other chocolate ahead of it, but yeah, let's do it. So the fort you just saw is Ayaz Kala, 3rd, 4th century BC, and yeah, there's multiple forts out here. There's one up big on the top there. You can't see the smaller one from here, but driving here took about what time is it now? little over like hour and a half, maybe hour 45. Driving through Uzbekistan. Kind of crazy roads. And there's absolutely no one out here. Whoop. There's a little dog right here. Little friend. So we'll see if he's gonna follow me all the way. But yeah, so we pulled up. I asked my bad broken Russian, how can we go up? He went, like, yes, you can go walk up. So I'm trying to see a path. I see a path all the way up there, but there's a shorter one. I mean, it's kind of cool. I don't know, I've been to somewhere this ancient where you can just get up and climb around on it all. Younger me, well, I'm 34 years old and I'm loving it. Younger me would have loved it even more. Yeah. How are we getting down here? So I've seen this all over. These little arches. So I wonder if, I don't know, maybe this used to be like halls or, you know, rooms under here. And just over time, as things have collapsed, I mean, it's been, you know, thousands of years. If it's been filled in, which kind of makes me doubt the structural integrity of the areas I'm walking on. That's all right. I just want to get the view over here because there's a smaller fort. Yeah, there it is. You can see it right there. So just walking along here, you can sort of see. It's like, it's hard to tell up close. You probably see on these buildings like the brick outlines, but you can, I mean, obviously up close there, boom. But yeah, it was awesome. Who doesn't love exploring a 2,000-year-old fortress? You know what I mean? That's what I'm all about. So another ancient fortress. Didn't see like an infographic sign, so I don't know how old it is. I don't have service, so I can't Google it, and I can't tell you the things I find on Google or Wikipedia. But I see some same tourists that were at the last castle, so I think this is just a circuit that the drivers go on. View, real windy. Car. So, pretty cool area. So, I'm trying to get up there. The driver parked down there. You can see some stairs there, which down there's some cars, and I was like, oh, he's gonna park right there. Nope. So I have to climb all up around here, trying to get up there. I was like, oh, okay, this looks like a spot. Nope. And this is just holes everywhere, so I don't have a lot of faith. But let's see if this will take us around. That's a much bigger gap. I'm into it. See, the stairs are way nicer. But now, you're gonna go on the stairs. It's a lot more majestic. Fortunately, it's not today. On to the next ancient fortress. So I was standing here and I was like, oh, it's too big. And I went like all down here and I jumped across like, thinking I was Tomb Raider. Well, I could have just gone right here. And everything difficult. Okay, here at Kuzil Kala, the third and last fortress checking out today. Doesn't seem to be the best condition, but I wonder if like it's been restored. So you can see the stairs kind of built in there. So you can obviously see like the older parts of it, but then like that looks new, you know. So I wonder if this is being restored. Which, you know, I'm kind of torn because, you know, I like to see the old, I guess, like, you know, the original how it is, but it's also cool to see it built back up to see what it would have looked like. So I don't know, it's cool to see, but again, no signage for this, and still no Google. Yep, you can walk right on up. Inside the fortress. So again, kind of the highest land in all direction. Again, I wish it was a clear day. It looks like there's mountains there. But this is a gorgeous view. Oh, can't really walk there. Giant pit. Just fall right off. Well, saw 3 castles. Just made it to Nukus, my hotel. 2:30. Actually, a lot earlier than I thought we'd make it. Checking the map, the way we were going, I was like, there's no way we're gonna make it here by like even 3 or 4 o'clock. But then after the last castle, just got on the roads, and yeah, it's crazy driving here in Uzbekistan. It is insane. So we get here in good time. Let's take a look at my hotel. So very swanky. Look at this. This is quite the upgrade. Yeah. Even got the slips, you know? See what kind of view we have. Okay, maybe this one's better. Maybe not. Alright, well, let's get out and explore Nukus. And here we go. Let's check this out. This is the monument to Ajiniaz Kozibe Uli. Looks like an important fellow. And just behind one of those buildings is the museum I want to go to. Let's see who Ajiniaz was. It's in English. Oh. 1824-78. He had an instrument up there. Okay. So it looks like he studied in madrassahs, played music, memorized the Quran. He was very philosophical and a poet. So yeah, just kind of an all-around dude. Oh yeah, there we go. Got his big flags. I don't know what the flag with the yellow band is. I mean, the blue, white, yet green is Uzbekistan's flag, but I don't know what the yellow means. I've seen that a few times where it'll be the Uzbek flag with another color in the middle. But yeah. Alright, about 2 minutes later from right now, I'm at the Nukus State Art Museum, otherwise known as the Savitsky Art Museum, named after Igor Savitsky, a Ukrainian-born artist. You see, born 1915, and traveled parts of the USSR as an artist, and then moved here to Nukus on a archaeological and ethnographical expedition. And so he started this museum, originally archaeological with some art, and now it is a massive art museum considered to have the world's second most collection, or like second largest collection of Russian avant-garde, which I'm very excited about seeing. So let's check it out. Hopefully we can record in there. Unfortunately, they did not allow like GoPro cameras. I could take pictures with my phone, but no recording stuff allowed. It was really cool. I absolutely recommend it. Anyone coming to Uzbekistan in this region, come to Nukus, go to the museum. Just most of the artists, I mean, were Russian or Soviet, and their style was not in vogue when Stalin was in power, so they were persecuted, but they still painted being the artists they are, or they were in most cases. But after Stalin died, when some art styles became more tolerated, Igor Savitsky started compiling, or he started compiling during Stalin's time as well. So yeah, it was cool. It was very educational. Very large museum, lots of exhibits, and also archaeological in there. So absolutely recommend. So I went to work out this morning. Found a gym, totally empty. Worked out for literally $2. And then afterwards, I saw behind like the check-in desk, they had protein and blenders and everything. And in none of the shops I've been in have I seen like anything close to like what you'd see in America, you know, like Muscle Milks and all that stuff. So I was like, oh great, I'll just get protein here. And so asked if I could get protein. She asked 1 or 2 scoops. I was like, oh, 2 scoops. And then she got out a plastic bag, which I was like, okay. Didn't touch the blender. And she just scooped 2 scoops of protein into here. So I got to figure out how I'm going to do that. Yeah, unexpected. So out here at the Nukus train station, got a train here, an hour and change. So I found out the Uzbek flag with the yellow center stripe is the flag of Karakalpakstan, which is the autonomous republic I am in right now. So look at that, learn a little bit about flags. All right, let's check it out. All right, here comes my train to Bukhara. Let's see what we got. Looking for coach number 7. 7. Oh dang. 14 more to go. That's the restaurant car, and I'm right after it. Oh man, I picked this spot perfect. Alright, let's go. So here's my room for the next 9 hours. I got first class. I think because it was the only one left. Yeah, so right now, no cabin mate. We'll see though. It's a long ride, long way to go. Going all the way across Uzbekistan. I love a good train journey. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Paka Nukus. Love a good long train ride. Trains in the former Soviet Union, pretty much anywhere you go, they're going to be similar. so you kind of know what you're paying for. All right, so here in the dining car. Не понял.
Бля, вообще смею. Русский не понимаете, да?
Только понимаю немного. So I'm here in the dining car, just good food. I was sitting here. Yeah, не по-русски. Мои родители не понимаю. This is Berber, Babur, and Sirhan. They invited me to sit down and drink vodka and Coca-Cola with them.
Vodka.
Yeah, so there we go. It's got the. So keep an eye out for that.
Karato.
All right. How do you say it?
Yes.
Для здоровья.
За здоровье.
За здоровье.
Sağlık için. Sağlık için.
Sağlık için.
Sağlık için. Отлично. They are veterinary.
Instagram есть? Instagram.
Да. They are veterinary students going to study in Samarkand and then back up to Karakal, Pakistan. So, great.
Yes.
Leaving a long lunch now. Quick update, just had lunch with Berber and Sirhan, or Sirhan. Great, really friendly guys, just asking, where I'm from, that kind of thing. I sat down on like this next to them, and then next thing I know, they invited me over, and we're drinking vodka together, and one of them spoke okay English, I speak bad Russian, so we sort of figured out what we were saying. But yeah, it was good. Supposedly I'll meet them for dinner. I don't know, we'll see. I have another 7 hours left on this train. Back in the dining car for dinner. My friends are nowhere to be seen. And now, let's see what we got. Lagman bread. Everything you need. So made it to Bukhara. What I did not know was the train station is actually outside the city in another town. So it's the latest I've been up on this trip so far. Still recovering from jet lag. And it's like another 30-minute drive, so I just want to go to bed. But yeah, here we are, Bukhara. There it is, my steed. So let's get to the hotel and go sleep. Good morning from Bukhara, Uzbekistan. Got some good sleep last night. Unfortunately, it was just the one night that I wanted to wake up early for the college football national championship, but I didn't get to bed until like midnight. So I woke up, I watched like one drive in the fourth quarter, got breakfast, and now I'm heading out for the day to do a speed run of Bukhara. So not even 2 minutes after walking out of my hotel, which I felt like was a little side alley, I just walk out into this massive square with three large madrassahs and like just this beautiful courtyard. There's a statue with the rider statue right there. So really excited about this city already. And this one has, I don't know if you can see, some beautiful peacocks up there. So again, walking just more casual madrassahs. This is the Ulugh madrasa from the year 1417. So, this is old, and this is old. It sounds so weird to say. This is, older than America by a few centuries. This is the architectural monument, Abdulaziz Khan Madrasa from the 1650s. So I haven't even got to like the first point that I picked out that I want to see. But there's just madrassahs on madrassahs on madrassahs here. So a self-proclaimed guide just stopped when I was in there and told me that that's still an active madrassah. So that's why you can't really go in. That's, wow, 500 years old, still teaching, closed for a few years during the Soviet Union, as expected. But yeah, let's keep going. Here we go. This is what I want. A 16th century bathhouse. I love a good bathhouse sauna. I don't even know if we're can walk in here. I don't know if we're allowed in there. Oh, where am I supposed to go? I think I want to go this way. Oh, here we go. Wow. So this is the Arc of Bukhara. Coming up here. The next spot I want to go to. So I was walking in the twisting, winding alleyways, just wondering like, oh, I hope I'm going the right way. And yeah, kind of hard to miss. So Bukhara has like everything I'm looking for in terms of history, right? You got the medieval history. I mean, this city is thousands of years old, but it's the capital of the Samarkand Empire. In the 8th century, it was besieged for 2 weeks by Genghis Khan and then destroyed, well, sacked, you know, I mean, it's still here, as part of the, I don't know if it was a Khwarezmian Empire at the time, but I'll correct myself here. And then in the Russian Civil War, it was the Emirate of Bukhara and besieged and attacked by the Red Army. So, I mean, just everything I'm looking for. Medieval, Mongolian, and Soviet history, all wrapped into one. One of the reasons I'm really excited about Central Asia as a whole. It's just kind of got the melding of a lot of my, you know, favorite historical interests. So, standing here at the Fortress Arc entrance into ancient fortress complex here in Bukhara. And this explains it a bit. From the 4th to 3rd centuries BC up until 20th century, it says it is the oldest monument of archaeology, history, and culture. So it doesn't matter if the pyramids are thousands of years older, this is the oldest monument ever. Yeah, let's go in and explore. So I just walked through these small doors here, and when I first came in, I saw this large map, and I was like, oh man, am I even have time? Because I'm kind of speed running. You know, I mentioned I was like speed running Bukhara today, and I was like, am I gonna have time to see all of this? This is just so much work. But then I just kind of walked up through right here, and I walk out, and what you're looking at is an active archaeological site. So this is kind of an explanation for what is around here. Well, I mean, this as well. You know, so this says what would have been there: minting courtyard, jewelry workshops, or sorry, I misread. I looked wrong. The houses of the emir's relatives, residential houses of the emir's mother, sisters, wives, harem. So the harem was somewhere over there, it looks like. This is really cool. I mean, you know, maybe most tourists won't get too much of a kick, but I like this because as much as I love seeing, you know, the complete build of a lot of these buildings, you know, you come here and you read the city is thousands of years old, but everything you see, I don't want to be like, oh, it's only a few hundred years old. I'm not discounting it, but you know, you'd love to see something that's thousands of years old, and so that's what this is. You know, realize there may not be a whole lot to look at, but I like it, I appreciate it, and maybe we'll get a good view because you can see the tops of the madrassahs over there. So maybe if we can walk over to that wall, hopefully that overlooks the city. One of the nice things about traveling in winter, there are not many tourists. The only other tourists I really run into are Russians, and there was a Chinese couple. That's about it. Everyone just assumes I'm Russian. But then I start speaking Russian and they're like, oh, no, you're not Russian. What do we have here? Is this a sign for it? Oh, this is a mausoleum, so it was a burial place. I'm trying to fit this in. Okay, right there. Let's see if I can fit it in right here. Oh, that's pretty cool. I really like that. That's cool to see. So the mausoleum was right here. Oh yeah, you can see all the madrassahs and mosques. This is just... I am geeking out here, if you can't tell. It's cloudy, but the sun is strong enough that it's glinting off the tops of the minarets and domes. So the blue is still very blue and turquoise. It's still really gorgeous. Don't want to fall down there. Oh yeah. So just casual 18th century mosque Hanukkah. Yeah, you can just walk right in. I have people in there right now. I don't want to go and film them. This is unexpected. You know, some of this is an active archaeological site, and you can just walk right around in it, in this crumbling mosque. You hate to see it. Graffiti. Just unexpected. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Remains of the Urda palatial bathhouse, 16th century. I'm all about bathhouses. I could really go for one right about now. Well, I could always go for one, let's be real. Oh, it's open to go into. Well, kind of. It's kind of collapsed. Let's see, can I already see on the GoPro. There we go. Okay, so they're walking right. It's cool. It just kind of worked out that they're walking through it right now, so you can almost see them exiting the entrance there. So that's really neat. Again, I'm geeking out here. So walking into the throne hall here, 17th century throne hall. Again, just gorgeous mosaic work. Oh, here we go. This is the greeting courtyard. So this is where people would meet or wait to go into the throne hall, just right through there where I just was. Yeah, it would be a greeting ceremony, and then 300 to 400 people a day would greet the king. So, you know, you see in movies and shows the different people coming in to make requests, talk to the king, happened here, right here. People would come right down and go on through. So maybe through here it says ancient medieval history of Bukhara Oasis. So this is right on top of a well, this fortress. So during sieges they had access to fresh water, which is major and really helps out in terms of surviving a siege. So I don't know if you can see it, but one of the funny things, Alexander the Great conquered out here, and you know, they said, oh, he named everywhere he founded Alexandria. I don't know if you can read, but I see like Alexandria, 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 Alexandropol, Alexandria, Araxiana. So a lot of Alexandrias, easy to get lost. I was thinking about Alexander naming every city Alexandria, and how confusing that must have been for decades, centuries afterwards. Oh, where are you going on this trading expedition? Well, we're gonna leave Alexandria, we're gonna go to Alexandria by way of Alexandria. Oh, great. Think you could stop by Alexandria on your way and pick up the things I've been asking you for? Well, I don't know, that depends if, you know, the head merchant wants to stop in Alexandria or not, because it's close to Alexandria. Oh yeah, that'd be great. Well, maybe you can pop by Alexandria on the way back. Just too many Alexandrias to keep track of. There's the Ark, leaving it. Gonna continue exploring Bukhara. I don't know if you heard or saw in the background there, but there were a lot of children there doing school field trips, I imagine. And it just made me envious of those children, because when I think back to like, oh, what did we do for field trips? Like, we went to Colonial Williamsburg, Virginia, where people would dress up like they were colonial Americans in the late 18th, you know, late 1700s. And they'd have a little mock Revolutionary War battle. You know, 250 years ago-ish, 240. And that was like the big field trip. Whereas kids here, you know, they can go on these field trips to all these incredible madrassahs and mosques that are centuries, and some of them over 1,000 years old. So the history buff in me is very envious that as children they're exposed to that kind of history, and they can go do that as a school trip. So very envious. So right now in the Chashma Ayub mausoleum, you know, just another casual, centuries old mausoleum that you just find walking around the street here. But this is what I really want to show you guys. Yeah, just some good content. Map the bathhouses in Bukhara, late 19th, early 20th century. So anyone trying to hammam it up here in the 19th century, these are the go-to hotspots. You have to go to Hammam Muhammad Payok, maybe Bibi Khalfa, or Kunjak, maybe Bozor, Zarafan, even Nakib. And I can't forget Hammami Bazodi Cord. So yeah, if you want to get your hammam on, that's where you go. So this mausoleum is over a spring in the oasis, and there's a tomb there. I'm trying to figure it out. Mausoleum of Chashma Ayub, and he was supposedly sent misery and pain and suffering and disease by Satan. He prayed to Allah, who sent him the Archangel Gabriel, and Ayub set foot on the ground. From there, a spring welled up. It's not actually declared that this spring is the spring he welled up, because Syria, Palestine, Egypt, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan also claim to have the spring that he sprung up under his feet. So that's Chashma Ayub's mausoleum there, and then it's possible to drink the water from this ancient spring. Let's give it a go. Maybe a little bit. Yep. So just a little bit there. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, this is from the base of some of this is from the 7th century. The rest of it was built in the 16th century. Okay. And then going over here, it talks about water management in Uzbekistan. Careful, rational relation to water economy of each drop liquidation of useless water in the scale of Uzbekistan allows them to improve water supply for the population. Necessary quantity of water for production of food articles of wide consumption. But then kind of one of the natural disasters in this region is what's happened to the Aral Sea. So you can see 1960 to 2017, and this is all man-made disaster. So originally this was a major fishing and water source, and now you can tell it isn't. And actually the region where I was the last couple of days, Karakal, Pakistan, during the Soviet Union, Karakal, Pakistan was actually the most prosperous region of Uzbekistan because of the Aral Sea and the water management. They were able to produce a lot of agriculture, but then after the dissolution of the Soviet Union, when Uzbekistan became their own country, the mismanagement of that water, and you can see what's happened to the Aral Sea here, caused great, I don't say, not famine is the wrong word, but really damaged the agricultural capability of Karakal, Pakistan. So now Karakal, Pakistan is the poorest region of Uzbekistan because of water mismanagement. So it's just interesting that they say that they were careful and rational with the water of the Aral Sea, but they were not. Очень круто.
Это мой коллекция, видите? Если вы хотите полицай тоже есть. Этот полицай есть тоже. Этот полицай. Это полис.
Everywhere you go in the former Soviet Union, you'll see those medals. I mean, in every market, all over the place. Those are some of the, a lot of times they're duplicates. Those were definitely originals. I was a little tempted, but нет, спасибо. I was definitely a little more than tempted to buy some, but да, я был в Ургенче, Khiva,
Tashkent.
не еще нет, и Nukus, да, вечером приехал на поезд, да, и, да, вечером сегодня на поезд в Samarkand, да, а потом в Ташкент.
О, шапка вам надо, холодно.
Да, но мне нравится холодно.
О, шапка.
Да, очень круто. И когда вы был профессор в Ташкенте?
Это я учился в Москве, там. Это 84-83 годы.
1984 in Moscow.
Studied in Moscow.
Да.
And then taught in
Tashkent.
Tashkent.
Да.
Какие исторические эпохи?
История Bukhara.
О, Bukhara. О, круто.
Очень круто.
Хорошо.
У нас редкие книги.
Окей, ну очень приятно.
Вам здоровья, долгих
Здоровья.
лет жизни, чтобы вы хорошо жили.
Спасибо.
Еще раз приехали в Бухару.
Спасибо большое. До свидания. So, yeah, had a long conversation. He was a history professor in Tashkent, specializing in Bukhara during the Soviet. Studied in Moscow and then taught here. And normally I don't buy things, but I bought it. I figured I got to support my fellow history majors. So here's one of the ancient gates. Well, restored, as you can tell. But the bones of it, like the foundations from the 16th century, one of 9 gates around the walled city. 4 are restored, 5 are lost, but this gate, 16th century, it's been restored. The Talipach gate. So yeah, walking through there, just beyond there, it goes straight down the path I was on. To the right is the mausoleum and the history professor I just spoke with. So you can probably hear a bunch of honks. So it's right next to a busy road with shops. So yeah, that's just life in an ancient city that's been around for thousands of years. Oh, here we go. Big market. Got a little market pup soup in there. Oh man, this is a big boy. Got your fruits and veggies. Got your baskets over there. Eggs, lots of eggs. Aisles and aisles of potatoes. Going into another market. Здравствуйте. Алейкум салам. О, нет, спасибо. Здравствуйте. США.
США, Америка?
Да.
Идемте, угощайтесь. Угощайтесь.
О, не можно сейчас. У меня лайнер. Да.
А нет, это мягкий.
Что это?
Это халва.
Халва.
Это мягкий.
Окей.
Минут.
Минут.
Протез. Наку.
Я хочу. О.
Вкусно халва. Что это?
Очень вкусно.
Вкусно, да.
Спасибо большое.
Пожалуйста. Хопча кадан.
О, да. You convinced me. You're...
Самый лучший халва.
Вы слишком добрая.
Пожалуйста.
О.
Америка? Это сникерс.
Сникерс?
Да. Сникерс Узбекский Бухара.
О май гаш. Сколько стоит? Два? Только
Да, 2 штуки.
Только два?
Еще. Какой 2?
Нет, только они, спасибо.
На 10 тысяч сумма. На 10 тысяч. На ползавая игра. Гиф.
Вы слишком добрая.
Да.
Never eaten so good. Got like 5 little treats there and some free tea. It says it was tea. It tastes like hot apple juice. I might have to buy some honey cake. I also had to buy some honey cake. When I traveled to Russia a few years ago, I just absolutely fell in love with it, and it's kind of hard to find. So. I just had to get some. I'm a slut for some good honey cake, let me tell you. If you've never had Russian honey cake, you're missing out. So again, just life in a ancient city. Got your mini market. Got another market with building supplies. Right next to, big ancient madrassahs. This is Kosh Madrasa. And it looks like there's a barbershop in the madrasa, so you can study the Quran and get your fade. Something really interesting I've noticed in Uzbekistan. So I'm here early January during Orthodox New Year, Christmas, and what I've seen all over Uzbekistan is Christmas trees. So it's interesting because during Soviet times there wasn't much, well, like any religious holidays. So New Year was like the main winter holiday, and they've also rolled Christmas into Orthodox New Year. So because even though predominantly Muslim country, part of the USSR, they have taken on the decorations you normally see for Christmas. Even when I was in Khiva, like I saw, you know, photos with Santa and the Grinch, which cracked me up. So just walking around in front of that horseman statue, and there was a group, looked like they were in their 20s, and one of them came over and just said, like, excuse me, where are you from? And I said, like, USA, and they're like, oh, I thought they were asking for a picture because they were doing like group photo. I was like, oh, you want me to take your picture? Like, I was like, yeah, I'll take your picture. And they're like, no, we want a picture with you. So I guess they're university students, and they yeah, so I just took a picture with them, and then that was that. They're just like, thank you, and on we went. But they sent it to me, so yeah, fun times. In case you can't tell by my bad hair, it's windy, but time to leave Bukhara. Back at the Bukhara train station. You know, I was here, man, not even, what time is it? I was here like 16 hours ago. So, on to Samarkand. I want to come out a few minutes early because yesterday, waiting for the train, when it was time to get on the platform, there was like a massive cluster of people trying to push out. There was no line, just push it up to the train attendant to check your ticket, and it was just a free-for-all. But so this is my train, the 767 to Tashkent, but I'll be getting off at Bukhara, and this is my coach right here. This looks like an older station. Stations in Nukus and Bukhara, much newer. I don't know, maybe this marble looks new and fresh. Very nice. Good morning from Samarkand, Uzbekistan. Stayed here last night in Hilton, really nice. Yeah, kind of exactly what you expect from a Hilton. Bit different from where I've been staying in more traditional like guest houses and boutique, like a boutique hotel in Bukhara. But the guest houses and hotels I've stayed up in the north were, I mean, those morning breakfasts were phenomenal. What they cooked each morning, and the breakfast here wasn't bad, but it was just what you'd expect at an American hotel. So again, it wasn't bad, but I wasn't blown away like I was at kind of those smaller places, especially up in kind of called Pakistan. So good morning, Samarkand. My hotel's facing north and the rest of the city is to the south. So the old ancient part of the city is south. So this is the suburbs you are looking at. I wish I had a better view for you, but I don't. Behind me here is Sealed Bazaar. It is Samarkand's oldest bazaar. Opened up in the 15th century. So it's just, you know, what we'd call a farmer's market. Kind of, I mean, in all directions. Just walking in, walking through. It's just crazy to think for centuries there's been a farmer's market like right here. No matter what's happened over history, the same thing's been happening right here. You know, you think of ancient rulers, some famous figures in history probably may have come through here. So, I mean, you know, this is also one of the reasons one of the things I definitely wanted to come see. You know, not that I'm like a market historian or anything like that. But again, I just love all things history, and it's just cool to see that, yeah, people have been doing this for centuries. And it's the same, probably the same products, vegetables, meat. Right outside the Shakizinda complex, there's a massive cemetery that's all around in this area. So when we get through, I might be able to see more of it. But just beyond the walls is a massive, just complex of Islamic architecture from the 11th and 12th centuries. But right out front here is something I know my loyal viewers want, which is a hammam from the 15th century. So bathhouse, hot bathhouse from the 15th century. This is the kind of content that I bring you guys. So I'm just totally spitballing here, but it looks like maybe under here was where they would stoke the fires, and it'd be the hot water up here. Maybe, well, I don't know, because it goes all the way through there, so I could just be making it up. It looks like there's a hole right there, so I don't know. I'm just making stuff up, I guess. But either way, hammam, hot baths, that's what I'm all about. Wow. And here, Tuglu Tekin Mausoleum from 1376. So this is one of the commanders of Amir Temur, or Tamerlane, or Timur the Lane. I mean, this is just, wow. Temur's sister. They're doing restoration work on it, so that's good to see. And there's part of the cemetery there. I mean, I hope I can get up and get a good view, because the cemetery is massive. Like, it reminds me of Arlington in Virginia. He was one of Timur's generals from the 14th century. When we get to Timur's mausoleum, I'll talk more about him. Shop. Another shop. Kutlug Oka Mausoleum. One of Amir Temur's wives could be here. Khoja Ahmad. I wonder if there's a reason why some got the full mosaic treatment. and some got the blank white. Tuminoko, so a family member of, well, there's no tomb here, so maybe not. Maybe this was intended to be used. This one has a lot more gold than the other ones usually. You see just a lot more kind of blue and turquoise, whereas there's a lot of gold in there. Well, let's see what's through here. So, a room of prayer, I think. A little more clarification on that. That was the Kusam ibn Abbas, may be buried there. That was the Prophet's cousin, spreading the word of Islam, but he was beheaded by infidels, so this may or may not be his resting place, but there was no, kind of the last part I went into, no photography allowed, and I didn't see that sign. But that's where they were praying, and so I turned off my camera anyway, because I didn't want to film them praying, so it kind of worked out that I just happened to not film in there. And it's probably good that I didn't, because it's considered a pilgrimage site, so I should have read that before I went in there. And then also, it is not allowed to take pictures or shoot videos near the graves. Step on or sit on the graves, will speak loudly, make noise, behave indecently. I took pictures and shot videos in there. There were lots of other people in there doing it, and the only no picture sign I saw was the last part of Ibn Abbas's potential grave, is the prayer room where people were. So I'm not going to put that in here. I wouldn't. Yeah, I want to be respectful. Okay, this is feeling more former Soviet Union here. Big wide open boulevards, wide walking paths. That was very, very Soviet communist bloc thing to do. You go to many cities across the former Soviet Union or former communist countries in Europe, and you will see, you know, big wide promenades to walk on. Yeah, so yeah, it feels really nice, really lovely breeze right now, walking among the trees. Yeah, feels good. So there's Registan Square. I'll go buy a ticket over here, but let's just get a view right here. I'll bring up my map. Okay. So this Ulugh-Beg Madrasa, the center, Tilakati Madrasa, and then Sherdor Madrasa. So Ulugh-Beg was built 1417 to 1420, Sherdor 1619 to 1636, and then the Mosque Madrasa Tilakati 1647 1660. So yeah, 600 years old. That's crazy. So this area right here, Registan Square, was the socio-cultural center of Samarkand during Tamerlane's reign. He is the one who kind of started this as the center of the city. And then the madrasa, the first madrasa, built by Ulugh-Beg, excuse me, when Samarkand became the scientific center. So again, another very, very important city in terms of the Islamic Age of Enlightenment, and this is kind of the epicenter of that empire. Yep, and then Bahadur Yalg Tushbui, the third ruler kind of important ruler to talk about here who built these two madrassahs during his reign. So the main discipline was learning Quran, reciting the Quran by memory. There were other subjects they learned, you know, astronomy, mathematics, philosophy, but you know, some of those were, some academics, some students struggled as they reasoned and worked how to fit Islam into those scientific pursuits. In particular, there were you know, some clashes of philosophies where some, you know, madrasas wanted to enforce Islam on the philosophical views and try to basically make philosophy conform to Islam, and then some students would challenge that. So let's see if we can buy a ticket and get a closer look. All right, here we are. Just gorgeous, stunning. I mean, I can't really, it's one of those places where, you know, I may see pictures and videos, and then when you get there, you're like, oh, it's not as nice, you know, it's not, it doesn't shine quite as much. It's, yeah, it's just not as good, you know. I mean, this is not that. This is really magnificent. I mean, absolutely the biggest madrasas, and so intricate and so gorgeous. I mean, this is 600 years old. Just crazy. Just there we go. So Ulugh, built by order and direct guidance of the great scientist Mirza Ulugh, 1417-20. The main architect was Khiva Shirozi. Do you have to walk through the shop to get in there? Probably. Oh, maybe not. Здравствуйте. Oh wow, this is gorgeous. Just really nice, really kind of protected from the elements in here. There's still like a slight breeze that's coming through, but I mean, this is just gorgeous. I mean, this is the first, all of the madrasas I've visited, you know, they don't have this intricate detail inside. Walking up now to Tilakari Madrasa. Let's see, Tilakari Madrasa, built by the order rules of Samarkand, Bialam Tushabahodir, 1646, 1660. Okay, let's check it out. I wonder if they're storing that. Oh, here we go. Really trying to pontificate and drink some chai right there. Haven't seen anyone doing it yet thus far, but it is January, so maybe they only do it when it's warm out. I don't know. It's not bad here though. I mean, I took my sweater off, so just a heads up. When I'm visiting here, dress conservative. Just stunning. Going now to the Sherdor madrasa. See some tigers up there. Again, the scale of this just can't be. I don't know. I'm sure the video doesn't capture it. See, Sherdor Madrasa, built by Yalingtush Bahadur, 1619-1636. Main architect, Usto Abdul Jabbar. Let's check it out. More shop stalls. Photo ops. So the throne, the travelers, be a queen, sit on another throne. Oh man, the urge to drink chai and pontificate intensifies. If this is the #1 visited site in Uzbekistan, I can understand why. I don't have time to do a guided tour, but I mean, I read a bit about it. I have my handy-dandy guidebook from the history professor I met yesterday, and then before this trip and even during this trip, I'm currently reading Lost Enlightenment by, hold on. Currently reading Lost Enlightenment, Central Asia's Golden Age from the Arab Conquest to Tamerlane. So hey, Tamerlane, that's exactly what I'm talking about right here, by S. Frederick Starr. So very good read about this region, and kind of about how Central Asia and the few different empires that ruled from the 800s up until 14th century really influenced the rest of the world. And it's kind of not really spoken about too much, at least in my education growing up. You know, you may have only heard of Tamerlane as the emperor of the Timurids who threatened the Middle East. So really interesting book, great to read, and you know, this region really influenced math, science, astronomy, philosophy for centuries. So that's the back of madrassahs from Rajasthan Square, and just a few hundred meters is a statue to Islam Karimov, the first president of Uzbekistan, ruled from 91 until his death in 2016. Uzbek politician his whole career. He was the chairman of the Communist Party of Uzbekistan in '89, and then after the, you know, during the attempted coup in Moscow in August '91, he declared Uzbekistan independent on the 31st, and so the 1st of September is Uzbekistan's Independence Day. Yeah, so there you go, a little bit more modern history for you. Okay, we'll glimpse of what's yet to come on this trip. Probably the area I'm more excited about. I mean, I've been speaking a lot about all this Islamic, Central Asian history, which I do enjoy, but more than that, I enjoy good Soviet history, since this was a part of the Soviet Union. One of the things you see all over this former Soviet Union are these murals, mosaics, that the art style, Soviet realism, bright colors, thick lines, depicting different cultural work, military achievements. So taking a look here, I mean, that's really just a gorgeous mural. So capturing some cultural side of Uzbekistan, sorry. So the traditional dress, peacocks, you see those all over I've seen those in some madrassahs. Horse there, the horse is a very, very vital, important animal in the history and culture of Uzbekistan. And it's fitting, it's on the side of these apartment buildings known as Khrushchevkas. You call them commie blocks, 4 or 5 stories tall always. The reason for that is in the 1960s, when Khrushchev was the chief of the Communist Party, premier of the Soviet Union, he wanted to build cheap, efficient apartment housing for the peoples of the Soviet Union. The plan was they would be for 20 years, because by the 1980s, the communism would have won, and so they could be replaced by more modern apartment complexes. But that didn't quite happen, as you probably know. And so the reason why you always see them in 4 or 5 stories is because in the Soviet Union, anything more than 5 stories required an elevator. So from Germany to Vladivostok, from Tajikistan up to Archangel, you'll see these. I mean, I don't even know how many of them were built, but it's the same design across the entire former Soviet Union. And in parts they're being renovated and modernized, and other places they're being torn down and replaced with more modern apartment complexes. But yeah, it's a little bit of more modern history for you. So now you know, and they're named after Nikita Khrushchev, Khrushchevkas. So yeah. So walking now into the mausoleum complex of Tamerlane, the Gory Amir complex. I checked my ticket, so quite the burial site. Yeah, Tamerlane is kind of the prodigal ruler for this region. He defeated in battle the Golden Horde, so the Islamic arm of the descendants of Genghis Khan, Mongols. He defeated the Mamluks, Egypt and Syria, as well as the Ottoman Empire and the Delhi Sultanate of India. So, I mean, we'll just take a look at the map up here. So you can see his empire stretches from modern day Iran down through, modern day Iran, Turkey, Iraq, where we are, Uzbekistan, parts of Kazakhstan, reaches down into India, Afghanistan, everything in between, so Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan. So, and these are all different military campaigns. So, yeah, that's where we are. And so he was quite the leader, quite the commander, never defeated in battle. So this is the mausoleum of Amir Timur. Really intricate and ornate. No surprise there. And then, so the black sarcophagus in the middle there, that's Tamerlane. That's Uzbek. So the other builder of the couple madrassahs that we just saw at Registan Square. And these are other various family members as well as later rulers after Timur. So yeah, that is really stands out as black. You know, most of the other ones that we've seen have been white, so kind of not surprising. You know, you think the bigger one here would be Timur. Let's go see who that was. But again, the black kind of just, you know, speaks to him. His legacy, I should say. Yeah, so 1, that's Timur. And then number 4, Mir Said Baraka. Who was that? Let's do a quick Google search here. Mir Said Baraka was a holy man of the commercial city of Termid. He was a spiritual teacher and close friend to Tamerlane, who died. So his friend died in 1404, and Timur was in 1405. So if he was a close friend and teacher, it makes sense that Tamerlane would put him in an ornate tomb like that. So, wow. Whoop. It's just a shop down there. It's funny. Some of the prices here, I always forget the exchange rate. I mean, it's like a million soom is about $80. So getting into the Registan Square, you know, I had to pay $65,000, and I was like, oh my gosh, how much is that? And then I do the quick maths in my head. How much is that? Like $7? No, $5. And then for here it was 40,000, so like $3.20 to enter this mausoleum complex. So again, it always catches me off guard. But I think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's pretty cheap. Like most taxi rides around the city, I think most I've paid is like 15,000 some. So, or like 25,000 for one of the longer ones. So like, that's $2. Most rides are 60, 75 cents. Using Yandex. So I always recommend Yandex in wherever it is, because you don't have to put like credit card information in. You can just pay with cash, and the price is agreed upon. So you don't get scammed by taxi drivers. Multiple taxi drivers come up to me and be like, oh, I'll give you a ride. And then you're like, oh, I'm waiting on Yandex. And they're like, Yandex is way more expensive. And he's like, well, how much? And they say like, oh, I'll drive you, this happened yesterday, for 30,000 some. Yandex will be 25,000. He's like, I'll drive you for, he's like, I'll do 25, Yandex will probably be 30. And I showed him, I said, Yandex is like 14,000. And he just went and just walked off. So use Yandex. That's long and short of it. Someone's in a rush. Until next time, Samarkand. Train station looks pretty nice at right about sunset. Again, less than 24 hours in the city. Did a bit of a speed run, but it's all right. On to Tashkent. Tashkent train station. All the train stations here, the big city ones, they all seem to have been done in the same, exact same style. So, yeah. Lots of Chevys. Chevy's got a corner on the market here. See these little tiny minivans. Здравствуйте. Cute. Can't talk. Yeah, that's that little van right there. Oh, try to skin later. Good morning from Tashkent, Uzbekistan. So I was hoping to have more time here, but it's gonna rain in a few hours, so I'm kind of getting out. Won't be like getting out earlier than I normally do, but I'd probably wait a little bit before the sun will come up a little bit more to warm up, but it's gonna rain. And there's a few war memorials I want to see. So Tashkent, it does have some of the Islamic history here, but and I consulted my handy dandy guide that I purchased from the former professor, but also here there's Soviet war memorials and museums. So if I have to choose between madrassahs and mosques or Soviet memorials, art, and museums, it's not really a tough choice. I'm gonna pick the Soviet history every time. So let's check out Tashkent. Walking through Tashkent, really nice open walking areas. You got these big yellow, don't really know what they are, but they look nice. And everywhere you go, you see people cleaning and kind of taking care of it. There's a few there. There's a woman back there who's cleaning. She asked me what time it was. This is Mustakilik Fountain. So normally there'd be water here, and yeah, so it'd be like a thin level of water here, like reflecting, and then all along this wall here there'd be water shooting out. So pictures in the summer looks really beautiful, especially with a bright blue sky, but right now in the winter there's no water, and with the hazy overcast, it just does not look, quite the tourist attraction. But that's the downside of traveling some of these places in winter. So now in Independence Square, Tashkent, memorializing the independence of Uzbekistan. So some, real big sweeping columns, beautiful birds. Again, fountains will probably be a lot nicer in the summer. And hopefully we can get a good glimpse of the globe up here. There's a globe further down, walk through there, that has Uzbekistan really big, so I'd like to get a view of that, but I don't know if you can see there's a fence there. And this is a big park walking through here, and when I originally picked out the route I wanted to walk, I was like, oh, just walk through the park. But then when I tried to, I was told I couldn't, and so I'd actually walk up this way. So I was recording until the guard came up and said I couldn't because it's closed, even though it's an open air park. So I guess they just don't want people seeing that. Yeah, so that explains why I couldn't walk through here. There's guards posted all along throughout this park. So hopefully I'll try to record again, because I love a good Soviet War memorial. But we'll see, because up here is World War II memorial, so we'll see what happens. Operation C War Memorial Park, complete total failure. Where I walked up, you couldn't even see the memorial from the pathway, and there were guards. So even though I kind of wandered close, and I didn't really loiter, but kind of walked closely, they were just staring at me the whole time, because, well, I stand out here. So yeah, they were watching me, so I definitely couldn't try to sneak it, especially after that one guard. I was worried he was going to tell me I had to delete what I'd already recorded. And it's a shame, because it's like a big open wide park, so I don't know why it's closed. They said it'll open in the afternoon, but it's going to be raining all day. It's supposed to rain any minute now on some kind of speed walking to a bazaar, to the big open air bazaar. Hopefully I can make it there in time. Not open air, it's covered, but you know what I mean. And then there's a World War II or Museum of Victory here I'd like to go to as well, but couldn't find hours posted. Don't know if it's open. So hopefully Tashkent improves here. So like an idiot, I forgot my toothpaste in my last hotel in Samarkand. So I was like, oh, I'll buy some toothpaste while I'm out in Tashkent. But look at these flavors. You've got pomegranate, you've got honey, lechebnia travi, looks like fruits or like berries and flowers. It's a tough call. Okay, walking up to Chorsu Bazaar now. It's been around since the 1570s, you know, so casual, 450 years old. But, you know, I think it's mostly kind of food and everyday items, but one of the reasons I want to go to kind of bazaars and markets on one of my last big trip I took. I think I was in Estonia and in a shop that was selling a lot of kind of military, you know, like military surplus store. There was a jumpsuit, and it was like a Soviet paratrooper jumpsuit, like a one-piece jumpsuit, and I was like, I don't know. And I just feel like my biggest regret that I never bought that. So I'm on the lookout for something similar. So let's do it. Unfortunately, no military clothing. All the clothing was like knockoff designer brand stuff. So if you want your knockoff Chanel, Prada, come to Chorsu Bazaar. This is my favorite crosswalk van anywhere I've been. Like the drunken scooch, 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 moving across the street. It just cracks me up. Well, I was trying to explain last night. And then you see these like little minivan buses, like tiny vans. They seem to be like informal taxis. I see them pull up people all the time. They say a few words and they hop right in. You know, call the index, they don't pop up. I don't see them on buses or like on bus routes, bus maps or anything. But then you see signs in their windows, so gotta look more into that. But yeah, it's just funny because they're all over the place. And also surprisingly, I haven't seen any like charging stations, but in the cities I see a decent amount of like Chinese EVs. All right, I'm at the Monument of Glory or Victory. Well, it said Victory Museum was back over there, but it was just an open air thing. But there we go. And something tells me we're in the former USSR. Don't know what it could be though. Yeah, but I've been walking along from down there. It's not really a path here, so I don't see many people in here. So I hope this is open. So let's see. All right, so the guy told me I gotta walk out here and go down that way now to the office. I asked if there was a toilet and they said yeah, down there. So let's hope he's right, because I am bursting. So just finished in the museum. Unfortunately, like recording with a camera wasn't allowed, but I took a lot of pictures, so I'll throw those up there. It was pretty cool, pretty good museum. Really fantastic stuff. There's an outdoor area with tanks, artillery, and planes. Well, only one of the planes was actually real. But then inside as well was kind of a full museum on Uzbekistan's participation in the war. So yeah, good. Definitely recommend it for any history nerds out there that come to Tashkent. I'm in the Tashkent airport now, waiting my Uzbekistan Airways flight to Bishkek. It was raining outside, so I didn't get video of the airport pulling up, but surprise, surprise, looks exactly like the train stations, like exact same style and design. Also, what I didn't really expect, kind of airports, orderly, you get in line to go through security and everything, but that didn't really happen here. It was just a mob, like 3 different times going through security and then passport control of just groups of people pushing up, no lines whatsoever, just force your way to the front, and then you can be at the front and someone can circumvent and just walk and cut you off. The only place there was a line was actually checking in with the airline because they had the physical metal lane lines, dividers, but like even passport control, I was waiting and I was next. This old man just like walks up and cuts me off. He turns and says something to me, and I said in Russian, like, hello, I'm next. And he's grumbling, just like push right up behind the guy, like he crossed the red line, but here it's more of like a red suggestion, I guess. And then going through security, he tried to push ahead of everyone again and just walk straight through the metal detector and didn't want to take off any of his stuff. So it's the only critique I have against Uzbekistan is like the culture of just like a big mob. Because I saw it at train stations too. But no, other than that, great time in Uzbekistan. Unfortunately, Tashkent got rained out, and I couldn't record inside the military museum. And the park was closed, so Tashkent was like 50-50. The Victory Museum was really cool, but couldn't record. And then the bazaar was cool. The big park was closed though, which was really annoying. It would have made for a really nice walk, but on to Kyrgyzstan. Hopefully you can see it in this shot, but kind of right in the center there is an Uzbek Airways IL-76. It took me a minute to figure it out because it wasn't the Uzbek. I initially thought it was Uzbek Air Force, but the paint scheme doesn't match. The Uzbek Air Force paints theirs in dark gray. It's actually a really good livery, but it's kind of really hard to tell, but on the tail is an old school Uzbek Airways logo. Hopefully we taxi by it and I can get a better shot of it. But yeah, I was hoping to catch glimpses of old Soviet aircraft on this journey, especially Air Force Ones. But I'll take an Uzbek Airways IL-76 any day.